Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this live stream. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you are doing well. My name is Klarens, and I am a visual artist from Albania. I've started the challenge of creating something every day since summer of 2017, and although my style is associated with styles like trippy, retro, and glitchy, I like to call my work experimental. And because I just like to play around with softwares and different techniques and try to evolve my style. So yeah, this is what I will try to do today. I'm going to show you one of my daily works. So yeah, I'm going to start in Photoshop and then move to After Effects. So yeah, now I'm going to share my screen so we can start the process. So yeah, I think you can see Photoshop now. And by the way, if you have any questions, let me know. First of all, I'm going to show you where I get the inspiration from. As I said, this is one of the normal processes of my daily work. Usually I go to Pinterest to look for inspiration. And this is one of the images that I found. You can see the title right here and the artist, just so I can give credits. And yeah, I put all the images that I find inspiring in a folder, and this is one of them. So I thought I could use that as an inspiration to create something similar in Photoshop and After Effects. And I know that this kind of liquid trippy style is trendy now, so I thought I could do something similar. So the first thing that I would need to do something like this is a portrait picture. So I went to pexels.com and I found these two images that I thought would look would be the right images for what I need to do. So I think I'm going to start with this one, and then, yeah, if we have time, I'm going to also try to animate this one. As I said, we are going to use Photoshop and After Effects, so it will be an animation. So yeah, the first thing that I need to do is just copy the head from this image and paste it to a new document. So I'm just selecting it using the rectangular marquee tool. And by the way, I'll try to explain everything as you haven't used Photoshop before or you are a beginner. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. So I'll just go to the toolbar here, go to the rectangular marquee tool and do the selection. Now I'm going to go to Edit Copy or just Control-C. And I'm going to create a new document. Usually I go with this size, 4,000 with 5,000 and resolution 72. And I go with this size because this is the optimal ratio for Instagram pictures, because I share my pictures every day on Instagram and I have to optimize them for that. So in this case, I'm going to reduce it because it's going to be an animation. And since I'm going to work in After Effects, the image resolutions should be smaller. So yeah, I'm just going to decrease the width and the height will be decreased automatically. I'm just going to click OK, but we still have the same ratio. Okay, and now I'll just go to Edit, Paste, and we have the image that we just pasted. So we just copied and pasted. So yeah, the first thing that I need to do is to remove the background from this image. So there are different ways that you can do that, but I'm going to show you how I do it. First of all, yeah, I can show you that there is this object selection tool where you just select and it will roughly select the object that you need to copy and paste. There is also the quick selection tool. You can see these selections here, plus and minus, that you can use to adjust to the shape of the face, yeah, you can go to the plus sign to increase the width of the selection, and you can go to the minus to decrease the width of the selection. But personally, I don't like this kind of this way of removing the background, because if I click Control C, Control V, you will see that the edges are not perfect. So this is why I'm going to show you another way to remove the background. So yeah, I'll just zoom in and use the pen tool, and yeah, I'll just click on a point and click on another point by holding and dragging. So this way I can create a curve. And by the way, I'm just seeing some questions, but I'm going to answer them in a few. Yeah, as always, if you have any questions, let me know. Which course is he demonstrating? This is a kind of work that I'm doing that is similar to one of the projects that will be available soon on Domestika, I think. Not I think, but it will be. I just don't know when. So yeah, I'll try to explain the same similar technique. So now I'm just trying to select the shape of the face. And as you can see, I'm just clicking on a point and holding and dragging the mouse to adjust to the shape of the face. And at one point, I let go of that so I can move on to the other point. And yeah, as always, it doesn't have to be perfect because it will be distorted anyway. Okay. Yeah, the pen tool usually takes some time, but I just feel more comfortable with it because I know that the result will be good. And also I chose this picture because I think it is easy to remove the background from, because I didn't want to spend too much time with the process of removing the background, since it is not very exciting to see. But yeah, if I had a female model, I would have to work more with the removal of the background, since because of the hair part. And usually when there is the hair element, I don't use the pen tool on that part, because yeah, there are better tools who can do the job for that. But as I said, in this case, I chose this picture since it is easy to remove the background from. Okay, now in the end, I just need to close the path. Let's zoom in. So I go to pen tool. You can see that I'm just clicking on the point where we started, and there is this circle icon that shows. And when I click on it, the path is closed, and we need to copy this this area that we selected. So I go again to pen tool, right click, make selection, and the feather radius should be 0. I'll click OK, and now this part is selected. So I'll just go to edit, copy, edit, paste, and now we have this as separate layer. So I'm going to uncheck both the previous layers. And now actually I'm going to make a copy of this just in case I need the original one. So I'm going to hold Alt key and drag it up to make a copy, or you can just go to select, edit, copy, and edit paste. But yeah, that's the shortcut for copying the layer, holding Alt key and dragging up. So now I will just try to adjust it to this document that I have. So I'll click Control T. And yeah, to make sure to keep the ratio we need to check this icon right here. If I don't check it, let's say if I uncheck it and we get this kind of distortion, we don't need that. So I'm going to check that to keep the ratio. And I'm just going to make it smaller so we can have something minimal in the middle of our document. So yeah, let's just click enter. And now the next step would be to distort this image and make it colorful. I'm going to show you once again the image that I found as an inspiration on Pinterest. And you can see that there is this removal of the eyes. And I'll try to do that. I'm going to make another copy of the image. Again, I have that. I do that just in case I need the original one. But yeah, to remove these eyes, we can use this tool right here, Spot Healing Brush Tool. Yeah, in case you don't see it, you can right click and pick the first one. And we go to the size of the brush, and I'm going to adjust it. I'm going to make it smaller so it is like the size of the this black part right here. I forgot how it is called. So I'm going to decrease the size, and the hardness, I think it is better to 0%. And I'm just going to colorize that. Now you can see how it is blended because it gets the color of the environment. And if I undo, you will see that only this area is black. The other one has the skin color. So yeah, let's try it again. Hello, Raulito, hello. Okay, so I'm just clicking and trying to blend the eye. Of course, this doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to make more adjustments. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing on the other side. And you can see this kind of distortion on this side. So I'm going to use the pen tool again to remove it. Okay, I'll just close the path, make selection, click OK, and delete. So yeah, now I think I can make more adjustments here by using the Spot Healing Brush Tool, and I can decrease the size of it. Okay, I think I can try the same thing for the nose. I don't know if it will look good, but let's try. Okay, I'm just trying to make it look flat. Okay, you can see that it is not perfectly done, but that doesn't matter because it will be distorted anyway. The whole point was to remove the eyes or to blend them with the skin. So now I'm just going to try and make it colorful. So again, I'm going to make another copy of the layer. And To make it colorful, I'm going to work with adjustments. I can start with adjustments like brightness and contrast and move on with the other ones. So the adjustment layers are right here. And let's start with brightness and contrast. You can see that a new layer is created when I apply the brightness and contrast. And first of all, I'm going to add a background just so I can show you something. Okay, just added this gradient background for now. Okay, and yeah, you can see that when I increase the contrast and the brightness, it affects both layers, the main layer and the background. You can see the difference. So I want this layer, this adjustment layer, to affect only the main image. So to do that, I can go to Layer, Create Clipping Mask. And you can see this arrow that is created, which means that the adjustment layer will be applied only on the layer below. Yeah, you can see that it doesn't affect the background. In this case, we will have a transparent background, but just wanted to show you that. Okay, now I'm going to show you the main effect that I use, or the main adjustment that I use to make the portrait colorful, which is the curves. And again, it is on the layers where I've applied the clipping mask, meaning that the adjustment layer will be applied only on the layer below. And here we have the curves. It has these 4 options: RGB, red, green, and blue. The main one is RGB, and then we can move on to red, green, and blue. You can see this diagonal line, and it has 2 points, one right here and the other one right here on top. We can add more points. So if I click in the middle, let's say, we can see that we have another point, and I can just drag it down or move it up, and you can see how it affects the picture. So what I'm going to do now is create some new points, and I'm going to try to create a wavy shape, and you will see how it affects the picture. Yeah. You can see that we have these kind of iridescent colors now. And what I like to do is just create new points and play around with curves just to see how it affects the picture. I don't have a formula for this, so yeah, whenever I have to create a colorful portrait, I just play around with the curves shapes. But I've just noticed that these wavy shapes create that iridescent effect. This is why I'm trying it. Okay, so now that we tried the RGB, there is the red, green, and blue. So I'll go to that. And yeah, you can see that I'm just creating points and playing around with them. Okay, again with the green, and now I will go to the blue option. Okay, I think it looked nice. We can see the difference here. If I check it and uncheck it. Okay, I'm going to create a new adjustment layer, the Hue Saturation. And again, first of all, it is on this row right here that has the clipping mask option. So we have the hue, saturation, and the lightness. I'm going to increase the saturation first of all, and I can also play around with the hue in case I want to get a different color combination. So I think I'll go with that. And Rahul asked, how are you doing today? I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, just thought about what to do during the live stream, and I think it is a nice example of what the full course will be about. So yeah, sorry, I was just doing things automatically, but I want to explain every step. So yeah, now that we have these three main adjustments, I'm going to make that as one group. So I'm going to select the layer below. I'm going to hold Shift and click the layer above, and this selects also the layers in between. Now, right click, I can merge layers, or I can click on this group icon. And now we have this as a group. So yeah, let's zoom out. I'm going to make a copy of the group, again, just in case I need the original one. And right click, merge group. Now we have this as one layer. So yeah, you can see right here that it has the adjustment layers on the group. But to simplify it, I have it as one layer now. And now I'm going to show you some blending options that you can use to make different color variations. So yeah, first of all, I just made a copy of the original picture. So I have it here. And here's the layer on top, which is the colorful one. And I can try different blending modes to see how it looks like. Yeah, here are the blending modes, by the way. We can start with normal, and I can try all the other ones. Thank you, Rahul. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, just trying these different blending modes, and I think the color option looks nice. We can see the difference from the normal option. Yeah, it is softer, I think. So now I'm just going to make a copy of both layers by holding Alt key, and I'm going to merge layers. And now again, we have this as just one layer. So as you can see, whenever I apply adjustments or do different editings, at one point I try to simplify everything. So in this case, we have just one layer. And now I'm going to show you one last thing before we move to After Effects. When I zoom in, you can see that there are some kind of pixelated areas. That is because of all the adjustments that we have used. And to fix that, usually I go to oil paint. So you can go to filter, stylize, and oil paint. And yeah, we have this. We have these options here. First, usually you have the lighting checked, but I don't like that. Yeah, I want something smooth, so I uncheck the lighting all the time. I don't use it, so I just play around with the brush options. Usually I leave them on 10, but in this case, if I leave them all on 10, the face will not be visible. So for that reason, I can decrease the stylization and the cleanliness. Yeah, and this way we can get less distortion. Okay, you can see the difference when I check and uncheck the preview. And yeah, now before we move to After Effects, I'm going to show you what I have in mind to do. So let's make a copy of it. And if you don't like the colors, you can just go to Image Adjustment, Hue Saturation, and change it here. But we can also do that in After Effects. So yeah, I'm not going to change it. And the tool that we are going to use in After Effects is the Liquify tool. So I'm going to show you because it is also available in Photoshop, but in After Effects you can also animate it. Okay, so I just went to the Liquify tool, and the main option is this forward warp tool and this twirl clockwise tool. Let's start with the forward warp tool, and on the right side we have the size and the pressure. You can see the size by seeing this circle on the screen. Yeah, I can decrease the size, and you can see the pressure by clicking and holding. Yeah, that's the pressure. I'm going to undo that, and if I decrease the pressure, you can see the difference. I think the pressure should be 100, and yeah, I'm just going to click and drag to create this kind of distortion. Okay, and I can also use this this other tool to make it more wavy. Again, there is the size and the pressure. I'm going to decrease the size. Yeah, I need to decrease the pressure too. Okay. Yeah, that's just so I can show you what I have in mind to do in After Effects. So I'm just going to cancel that. And actually, one last thing that I just thought that I can do is to add more colors. So I'll go to Select, Color Range, and here we have these options like red, yellow, green, and so on. I'll just go to Sampled Colors, which means that I can click somewhere and it will select the colors that are similar to it. You can see the white color right here represents the color that I selected. And by playing around with the fuzziness, I can decide about the range of the colors that are selected. Okay, now that we have this selection, I can just create a new layer, and I'll go to the gradient tool. Here are some gradients that I've created before, so I'm just going to apply it. Now Control D, and to change the colors of the gradient, I can click Control U, which is the shortcut for Hue Saturation. Okay. Yeah, you can see the difference right here. I think I'm going to keep it with colors. So now I'm just going to export this as a PNG so I can open it in Photoshop, in After Effects, sorry. So I'll go to File, Save As, and let's just create a new folder. And now on Save As type, I'm going to put it as PNG. I'm going to click Save, click OK, and you need to make sure that you don't have a background. So yeah, we need a transparent background. And yeah, now I'm going to move to After Effects. So I'm going to open it now. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen in Photoshop, and I'm going to move to After Effects. Okay, so now I think we are in After Effects. Yeah. Okay. Okay, did you try new Photoshop? Yeah, I haven't tried it yet, actually. I know that Adobe Max is happening now, but yeah, I haven't had time to see the new features. I thought I could wait for the whole event to finish, and then I'm going to see all the features, because I know that after they finish the event, there is always some tutorials on YouTube that talk about that. So yeah, I'll just check it after a few days, I think. Okay, so in After Effects, I'll go to the project section. I'm going to double click, and yeah, I'll just go to the folder where I have the image, and I'm going to open it. And yeah, by the way, if you have any questions, let me know. Now in After Effects, to create a new composition, we can click on this icon right here, and we can set the width, the height, the duration, and stuff like that. Or we can just drag this picture to the new composition, and the new composition will be created based on the size of the picture. So now I'll right-click Composition Setting, and we can see that the width and the height is the same as the width and the height of the picture. I just need to change the duration. Maybe I can make it 6 seconds. Yeah. I'll just click OK. And now if I click play, nothing happens. Here's the timeline, because we just have a picture. And to animate it, we need to go to the Liquify effect. Here are the effects and presets. In case you don't see them, you can go to Window and make sure to check the effects and preset option. Okay, I'm just going to click and drag and apply it on the layer of the picture. And you can see that we have similar or the same tools as they were in Photoshop. The first one, forward, the warp tool, and the third one, I think it was called twirl clockwise tool. So yeah, now the only difference here is that you can animate it. Now to do first of all, before I show you how to do the animation, we are going to see the options here. Again, the brush size and the brush pressure. We saw in Photoshop that it looked better when the brush pressure was 100. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And the brush size, I'm just going to adjust it. I think 100 is good. I can see the circle here. Yeah, I can test it. Okay, so even when I do this and click play, you can see that nothing happens. I mean, it is not an animation. So let's undo it. Okay, to undo, you can just go to Edit, Undo, or Control-C. And to do the animation, we need to animate these distortion options, distortion mesh, offset percentage. So we need to set a keyframe here. So I just need to click on these icons and make sure that I'm on the start of it. And now I can just move on at the second number one on the timeline. And now I can go to forward warp tool and just start distorting the image. Okay, now let's go from the beginning and let's click play. And you can see the distortion that is animated. But it stops on second one, because this is where there is the last keyframe. I can move on to the last frame, and I can keep doing this distortion like that, just clicking, holding, and dragging down. Okay, now this is a kind of thing that you just test and see how it looks like. If you don't like it, you try again. So I'm just going to click play and see how it looks like. Usually this kind of effect takes some time to load, so yeah, we need to be patient with it. Okay, if you want the animation to be faster, I'm going to show you how you can do that. So we need to click on this kind of arrow right here, go to the effects, liquify, and you can see these shapes, which represents the point where you distorted the image, where you applied the effect. As you remember, we started from the first frame, then we distorted it in the first second, and then on the sixth second. So I'll just, now to make it faster, you can just drag this somewhere right here, and the transition will happen faster. Okay, and you can see that it stops right here. So I'm going to move to the last frame and try to distort it again. Okay, let's click play and see what we get. Okay, I'm just watching it several times just to get a better sense of how it looks like. I think I'm going to apply more distortions in the end. Okay, I'm going to see how it looks like, and then I think I'm also going to use this other tool. Okay, I think it looks nice. Maybe what I can try next is this third tool that I mentioned. So yeah, I'll go again to this keyframe and apply it. I need to select this tool, and yeah, I'll just try to make it more wavy. So again, I'm just clicking and dragging. Okay, I'll go to the end, and yeah, let's see what I can do with this tool. Okay, now I'm going to click play again and see how it looks like. Yeah, as I said, usually this takes some time to load, but I'll just wait and see it in the real speed. Okay. Okay, I think it looks nice. I don't know if you have any feedback, let me know. There is also this other option where if you want to start the distortion below, there is the distortion mesh offset. This is the X, this is the Y. So you can see how you can put it below like that, or just in case you want to change that. But in this case, I think what I will do is just make some color adjustments, add a background, and maybe add the glow effect. I'm going to see how it looks if I apply the Colorama effect. So I'm going to duplicate this layer by clicking Control D. And I'm going to apply the Colorama effect. And I'm just going to apply it on the layer, and it shows right here on the effects control. And again, if I click play, you can see that the colors do not change. And actually, to make this faster, I'll go to the layer below and I'm going to uncheck the Liquify so it loads faster. I'm going to do it on both of them. And now on the Colorama effect, you can see all these options, but I think the one that we need to change is the input phase. On the phase shift, we can see that we can change the colors here. So like we did with the distortion, I'm going to animate it. So I'll go to the phase shift and let's go to the end. And I'm going to just increase that and make a full rotation. Okay, maybe it plays slow, so maybe I can put it on 2. Okay. And by the way, here is the quality. So if I put it on full, you can see it better, but it is just so it loads faster. And yeah, now I can bring back the Liquify effect. Okay, and we can see what we get. Again, I think I need to decrease the quality just so it loads faster. So yeah, I'm just showing you different effects that you can apply to get something interesting. But yeah, you can choose to not use the Colorama effect. Okay, and the other option would be to blend it with the original one, like we did in Photoshop, where we had the blending modes. They are also available here in After Effects. And let's try the color blending mode. Okay. So if you like it like that, you can keep it like that with a blending mode of color. But I think I'm going to keep the original one, and I'm just going to add an adjustment layer. So I'll create a new, let me show you how you can create a new adjustment layer. You can just go to this area right here, right click, new adjustment layer. And on the adjustment layer, you can apply different effects that will be that will affect the layers below the same way as they did in Photoshop. So I'm going to apply the color balance, hue, lightness, and saturation adjustment. I'm going to apply it on the adjustment layer here. And if I click play, you can see that nothing happens. I'm going to increase the saturation and animate the hue. I'll click on the hue, go to the end, and I'm going to make a full rotation cycle. And yeah, this is what we get. Again, I put the quality to a quarter just so it loads faster, but if I put it on full, again, you can see how it looks like. Okay, so now I think I'm just going to make some final color adjustments. So if you have any questions about anything, just let me know. I'm going to see the chat. While I'm just waiting for this to load so we can see the final animation. Although, as I said, I'm going to make some other adjustments. Okay, yeah, I think it looks nice. So now I'm going to continue with some other adjustments. First of all, I need to create a new background. So I'll go to New, Solid, and I'll just click OK. The color doesn't matter. I'll just put it on the background. And now we have a gray background. But usually I've noticed that with these kind of animations, a minimal background looks nice. So I've tried to use grids, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to duplicate this layer by clicking Control D. And I'll go to the effects and presets and just search for grid. Okay, and actually I'm going to delete the background because I want it to be black, not dark gray. So I'll just switch it to black and click OK. Okay, now on the layer where we have applied the grid, I'm going to just play around with the settings. First of all, I want these lines to be thinner, I think it's called. So yeah, I'll just put the border to 1. I can also put it on 0.5, but I'll see. And to make these rectangular shapes smaller, I need to play around with the corners. Here's the X and here's the Y. Okay, I think it looks nice. I can also try to make the border 0.6 or something like that. Okay, so now I'm just going to add the glow effect. So I'll go to the glow, and under the stylize, there is this option. Okay, so we have all these options like glow threshold, glow radius, intensity, and we can see the effect that it has, first of all. But to change it, we can play around with these three options: threshold, radius, and intensity. Yeah, we can see how it affects the picture. And I'm just going to adjust it based on what I like. So there are no rules here. Hello, Jane. Hello. Is this yeah, that's it is not released yet. So I don't know when it will be released, but I think soon. But it will be something on this kind of vibe of when I will explain how to create like 3D effects and abstract animations. Okay, so now I'm just trying to play around with a glow effect. I think I need to increase the glow radius and glow intensity. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jamie. Now I think, yeah, the last thing would be to add some color balance adjustments. And here we have the red, green, and blue adjustments. I'm just going to change them and see how it affects the main animation. But I think I just want to create something more blue. Okay, yeah, you can see the difference. Let's click play again. Yeah, I think that would be the final animation. Maybe I can just export it. So I'll go to the project section and go to File, Export, Add to Adobe. Oh, I cannot render it here. Okay, I'll just click Control M. And here we have these three options. I'll just save it in a folder. And the output module, I'm going to change the format to QuickTime. Click OK, and yeah, I'm just going to render it. Okay, now that the render is done, I can just go to my to the folder where I saved it. Okay, I need to use another software. And yeah, that's the final animation. I don't know if you have any questions, let me know. What other software do you use? Besides Photoshop and After Effects, I use Cinema 4D and DAZ Studio, which are 3D softwares. I'm not really good at them, but I'm trying to learn them so I can implement 3D to my work, because this is something that I try to do, implement, just trying to combine different softwares to come up with something new. So yeah, to give a short answer, besides After Effects and Photoshop, I use Cinema 4D and DAZ Studio. Also Premiere Pro. How can you make the movement seem so natural? I guess it depends on what you call natural, but I think it comes with experience. Yeah, I don't know. I think like what I try to do is just play around and see what looks good to me, but it's not like I have a formula to make something look natural. Usually I play around with adjustment layers to blend everything and make it look as one thing, if that makes sense. But yeah, this is how I do it, just trying to blend everything. How did you decide on your technique and style? As I mentioned in the beginning, my work is associated with different styles. Someone calls it trippy, someone calls it retro or glitchy or modern, but personally I call it experimental, because I try to play around with different techniques. And how do I decide on the technique that I want to try is based on what I like. If I like a certain style or an artist, I just study its work and try to see the way that the other person does it, try to see what softwares they use, what kind of techniques they use, and I blend it, I combine it with the other things that I know to come up with something new. So it's always a work in progress. It's not like I use just one technique. For example, in this case, I used the Liquify tool, but I also combined it with effects like Colorama or the glow effect. So in another work, maybe I use another effect. So as I said, it is always a work in progress. It's not like I use just one technique. You always evolve. What has been your most inspiring project or client? I don't know. I think when I get a new project, like however it is, I'm excited about it, and I feel like this is the most important project that I have, and I try to give my 100% to it to make it look good, or at least to me. So after I finish it, there is another project, and I feel like the next one is the most special one. So I cannot pick one, because I try to consider them all important, but I can give this answer that I like the projects that give me a kind of creative freedom. I mean, I need instructions, but at the same time, they trust my work and just give me that freedom to play around with whatever I like. Yeah. So did you try the new Photoshop version? Yeah, as I said before, I haven't tried it yet. I think I need to download it from the Creative Cloud. But I know that the Adobe Max is happening now, and I've seen from the other artists who have mentioned some new features, but personally, I haven't tried them yet because I've had some client works that I had to work on. But I'm just waiting for the event to finish, and then I'm going to check some YouTube tutorials from people who just show what new features are available, and I can test them and see if I can implement them in my work. Can I do it in Elements? I don't know what. Elements. Maybe it is Elements 3D and After Effects. But I don't know. To make this kind of work, I use just Photoshop and After Effects, but I'm not sure about what you refer to Elements. Okay, so I think that's it for this live stream. Thank you everyone for joining. I hope you have found this helpful, and yeah, I'll see you on the course when it is available on Domestika. So thank you for watching and goodbye.
La idea es como algo muy frágil.
Se me fue la hebra.
I'm going to show you some examples. This is what we've got behind me.
¿Qué más preguntas tengo por aquí? ¿Cómo descubriste que los tubos